When making a crab table, the most important part is the measurements of the boat, such as the edge of the boat, height of the boat, and how big your crab pots are. For this table, the largest crab pot measured to be 24 inches by 24 inches. Grated aluminum was used for the top of this table. To begin, I measured out 24 inches as that was the largest size of the crab pot used. Having grates in the aluminum was very important. This allowed for water to not be standing on the table and create a safer environment and less corrosion on the table. Using aluminum was also important. Aluminum is an ideal metal to be used in boats as it is lightweight and withstands salt water better than other metals. It is also less corrosive. As you can see, after the measurements were drawn, we began cutting. Cutting the grated aluminum proved to be a bit of a challenge. With each hole, we had to stop and start over and make sure everything was straight. We also made sure that we took safety precautions when cutting this metal. As seen in the video, I'm not only wearing glasses over my glasses, but also ear protectant. As seen here, I'm also wearing cut-proof gloves. This next part to cut was challenging, so I had to ask for help and also get a bigger saw. One problem with cutting this grated aluminum was that it created very sharp edges. To lessen the risk of cutting ourselves, we grinded down the edges to make it safer to use. The next important part of this project was creating the collapsible legs. To begin, I bought one 3-foot long square steel rod and cut it in half to create 2 legs. Okay, welding. After cutting the steel legs, I then welded the steel hinge to the steel legs. Finding a completely steel hinge proved to be difficult as most of them were either galvanized or zinc coated. The next step was fairly simple, just drilling the holes to put the legs into the table. After that, we drill pressed the holes that would hold the 2 legs together to create the collapsible and adjustable height for each boat. The part being drilled here is the aluminum part of the leg. Notice the plastic piece at the bottom of the leg that is there to protect the boat and stabilize the table further. As you can see in this photo, clamps were attached to the edge of the table with U-bolts. When originally creating this idea, I wanted all the pieces to be made out of aluminum to prevent corrosion. However, welding aluminum to aluminum required a TIG welder, which was far past the experience I had with welding, which was no experience. Since steel is heavy, and this was the only metal I could weld, I decided to make half of it steel and half of it to aluminum to prevent as much corrosion as possible and make it as light and easy to move as possible. This was the finalized product. The legs were attached to the table with clasps that allowed for it to hold well when moving and collapse easily. The clamps were able to attach to the side of the boat and be adjusted to various boat sizes. The legs were also adjustable that could customize to any boat size. These legs could reach a height up to 3 feet tall. The goal of making this crab table was to make it easily adjustable to every size of boat, and to make it easy on the user for lifting crab pots in and out of the boat. I also wanted it to be lightweight so it was easy for the user to bring it in and out of the boat, and collapsible so it was easy to store alongside the crab pots.